Here we go. Goldenrod. Love you, honey. All over the mountain, a mother lode. We absolutely adore it. Close up, Solidago. There's a little red paintbrush there. Hiya, I'm Rachel, and I just showed you a little clip of my adventure in the mountains yesterday. I showed you a whole glorious field of goldenrod, and goldenrod makes me so happy, and it's a really valuable herb. And I was able, if you noticed in the clip, it was a huge field of goldenrod. So when you have a stand that large, it's you don't have to worry too much about taking a lot, because there's plenty there, and some of it hadn't even flowered yet. And so goldenrod, solidago, and there's many different species, and I'm not sure what species I found there, but it was an alpine species, and sol, S-O-L, means sun. And if you look at these flowers, they're sunny and gold, and they make me happy just to look at them. And so I just felt blessed to have found that large stand. I was up there with a dear friend of mine who helped me lay out a lot of the pictures and do the editing of my clinical herbalism book. So I love goldenrod, and so I collected up there, and I got quite a bit. I had this large basket of it here, and when I weighed it, it was 2 pounds and 11 ounces of this. So this is quite a lot, and it's fresh. This has been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and I'll be processing it today. So this is my lovely amount of goldenrod, and as I'm going to show you, goldenrod is a member of the aster family, the Asteraceae, and so there's clusters of flowers on this plant. We can do a little close up here. And you can see that they look like tiny little daisies, and that's why they're in the aster family. And so it has a cluster of yellow, bright yellow flowers, and the leaves are alternate. You can see that. They're alternate leaves, and the stems are they have a reddish tinge to them. Here's one. You can see more of the red on it. So that's also a telltale sign. And you can see that the leaves are long and narrow, kind of pointy, like so. So goldenrod grows in many different locations. It grows all over the world, and the ones that were blooming, I was up at about 10,000 feet, and so these were blooming. Things are a little weird this year in terms of the weather and when things are blooming, but it tends to bloom in late July and throughout August. And right now it's just about the end of July. So I felt very fortunate to have found this large amount. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this up very soon. You've seen how I do fresh tinctures. It will be a 1 to 2 proportion of raw plant material, raw meaning not dried, raw plant material to 95 to 100% alcohol. And so yesterday I weighed it, and it was 2 pounds at 11 ounces, and it's been in the fridge overnight, so it hasn't lost a lot of water. You can see it's a little bit wilted. And I'll weigh it again, and it'll probably have lost a little bit of weight just sitting overnight. And I'm going to chop it up and put it in my fresh tincture. But the thing that I use, there's 2 main uses. Goldenrod, first of all, is very drying and astringent. It's also cooling, dry, and astringent. So if it's something is astringent, it tightens up tissues, and it dries you out. So what this is, it's a diuretic. It makes you pee a lot, and that's why it has a drying quality. It's also can be used topically to dry up insect bites and things like that. So it has been used for that purpose as well. But the 2 internal uses, the main one is the kidneys. You see goldenrod, you think kidneys, and it's because it's a diuretic, it drains damp, and it's anti-inflammatory. It helps urinary tract infections and all kinds of chronic kidney problems too. I use it particularly for somebody that has gout. And gout, if you go through all the physiologic causes of it, it's uric acid buildup in the joints, a form of arthritis, but the core reason is because the kidneys cannot eliminate uric acid, and this helps that. So it helps that happen, and it's also very restorative to the kidneys. So for any long-term kidney problem, it's a go-to herb. It's very, very valuable in that sense. And the other major use for goldenrod is also respiratory. It's anti-inflammatory, and guess what? It dries up mucus. And it also has an anti-allergenic quality to it. So when people have hay fever, goldenrod is a really good herb for that. It's not ragweed. It's not the ones that make you allergic and sneeze, although goldenrod has been blamed for that. But it actually is very good in a respiratory hay fever type of allergy. So urinary problems of all types, urinary restorative, respiratory, for drying up mucus, and also topically to help wound healing. So this is my friend Goldenrod, and I'm very happy to be able to share it with you today. Thank you.